Well, good morning, guys. It's November 4th, 2024. The big election is tomorrow. So 24 hours from today will be an election day. And I'm still in Pahrump, Nevada, and it's 49 degrees outside. And it's 5:20 a.m. At 5:20 a.m. now, with the time change, it is dark out there. It's not, no hint of sun yet. So that's what you get when you change the time. So, today is Monday. On Thursday, it'll be 1 week from Thursday, I will be heading to quartzsite. And everything that you get will be coming straight from quartzsite. I can't wait for that, and I'm sure you too are looking forward to it. So the leaving off from yesterday, there was another comment on my little short I did of my egg breakfast, and Joseph5348 says, eggs make a dog coat very shiny, thought the hungry dog. Well, let's talk about that hungry dog for a minute. I did a whole separate video, and you're going to see it, and it'll be redundant, but I couldn't hold back. I don't like holding back good news. Dottie and I went to the vet yesterday, and there were 4 concerns. One, I just needed vaccines updated, which included Bordello and the big one, rabies. I can tell I'm old. And 2, I wanted to get an accurate weight on her because the doctor had challenged her at 30 pounds. She was overweight. She needs to be at most 27 pounds. So we focused on no more snacks. Well, that's not quite true, but the only snacks I give her now are the Charlie Bear grain-free crunch, which they're only 3 calories a piece, and that's pretty sparing, and she doesn't get those every day. And I feed her 93% lean ground beef, peas, carrots, beans, and blueberries. So I make her food from scratch. So number 2 is the weight. Number 3 was Dottie has a heart murmur, and there's 6 classifications of heart murmur, 1 to 6, and she was at 2, bordering on a 3 the last few times. So we have to monitor that, because if it gets worse, she's going to have heart problems and need medication, and she's, let's face it, going to have a shorter life. And then the 4th thing is something that's just developed. Dottie's 9.5, 9 years, 6 months old this month. And she used to easily, like when I'm sitting outside, come up and jump up in my lap, and she's no longer seems able to do that. I mean, every once in a while she does it. She isn't quite as peppy on the walks. So I kid around that she spends so much time sniffing and not walking, but I think some of that is, it's all spelling osteoarthritis to me, so I wanted to present that. So, let's see if this thing's in here. It wasn't quite snapped in. There we go. Anyway, those are the 4 things, and we went yesterday, and here's all the good news. Number 1, Dottie weighs 26 pounds. You got that, Dottie? You weigh 26 pounds, you good dog. She is at the perfect weight. Number 2, she got her vaccines, no problem. Tolerated them very well. And number 3, the heart murmur is not a 2 anymore. It's not a 3. It's a 1. It's only a 1. It's the least in the doctor said now I can barely hear it. And she said, I said, do you think that's the weight loss? And she goes, absolutely, that was the weight loss. So I mean, that was, I buried the headline, didn't I? That was the big one. Dottie has barely I think it's called a class or category, but there's 6 of them. She's got just barely 1. And she checked her teeth. Has Dottie had a lot of dental work? I said, no, never. She said, it's amazing. She has perfect teeth, unlike her dad. So And then the fourth thing was she checked her out. She said, yeah, she's got some, to be expected, not surprised. Part of a dog's life is osteoarthritis usually. And Dottie has some signs of it. And she gave me some medication. It's great medication. It's called Rimadyl. And I know it's great medication because I've used it with a dog I had in past years, and it worked really well. There's a new injectable medication that works very differently and supposed to be really promising. But in order to do it, you have to go to the vet once a month and get the injection done. So that's not really traveling. That's not an option for me. I said, can I get it? And, you know, as a paramedic, I know how to do it. I've done a lot of injections. She said, no, it's too new. They're not allowing it, but in the future they probably will allow that. So we'll keep that in mind, and we're going to do a little research on that. So when you see the video that I call, let's see, what did I call the video? That's going to come out in a couple of days. Dottie's vet visit results. This is a spoiler for that. So anyway, that's it. I'm going to start talking about, I'm going to start, well, I already technically started. I'm going to continue reading the comments. So M. Campbell, so I really liked this story. Real fairy godmother, positive news about this woman that had a really rough life, went through rough things, and she decided, I'm going to start a nonprofit, and I'm going to start making a difference in the lives of other people that are having a rough time, and doing what I can to solve our problems. And it really took off. And it's really a heartwarming story, and it got like 27 views. I don't know. But M. Campbell says, she has a big heart. Many people would just forget all they've gone through. She wants to help everyone who's gone through bad times and have some good memories. I agree. Snow Debs on Dog Park with Dottie. You're a good boy. Laugh out loud. It's ironic. She's referring to me as the dog. Ken Gray on the Fairy Godmother. Based in Pennsylvania, yet another reason for Americans to be proud of their people. Heartwarming story just in time for the upcoming holidays. And Ken comments on the dog park video. I have it figured out. You can get Dottie to do anything as long as it's something she wants to do. Truer words have not been spoken. Ken, on the comments, good advice about not driving a bicycle or e-bike on a shoulderless highway. That is good advice for anywhere, anytime. And the breakfast short, Dottie says, I like eggs. That's from Ken as well. M. Campbell on Dog Park. Dottie is a little like a cat in that she has selective hearing, but she seems to be happy with you in your position as her chief of staff. True. Totally true. Your comments, the comment video, it's to Faye Eldem. Is it ITSTUFAYELDM? Not pronounceable. He says, wow, I love your video. Well, that's great. Thank you. Julie Hoot says, on the dog park, I'm thinking you are perfect with Dottie and George. Thornelius on the dog park. Oh my gosh, the video is so funny. My dog Wiki does one trick. She goes outside. He goes outside to use the bathroom. Good trick. Good one. Dottie does that trick too. Also, I think. Okay, I got it before I'm gonna little background. In there, I talk about how fast Dottie eats, and they make these plates with like circular grooves in them, so they have to work at it, so it slows down their eating. And she says, also, I think my husband needs one of those bowls with the grooves. Husband, if you're watching this, brother, she'd be saying the same thing about me, my friend. I eat too fast. Okay, Sam on the new to quartzsite desert camping. Don't make this rookie mistake. That's an older video. She's, and this is about driving your rig through the washes in the desert and not getting stuck. And Sam says, good idea is to stop, get out, and walk ahead to assess the crossing and way. Good, that is good advice. Stop, get out of the truck, walk up to it, and look at it before you try to drive through it. On the same video, somebody else right after that said, thanks for another great video. And that is Pisansky. Thank you. And Susan Stevens. Hey, Susan. Hi, Rob. I finally made it to Preferred. I've actually been here for a few days organizing and setting up. I'm in the section across the main road from you. I'll try to have her soon to see if you're home. Say hi. Oh, good. That's on the dog park video. And we have Wendy Sosa 66 on dog park. Dottie has selective hearing just like my Ace. I like that the dog park is shaded. The ones close to me are full sun, which is okay this time of year, but way too hot during the summer months. And Clue 5919, and it's not Clue the way you would spell it. It's CLLEW 5919. I used to whistle for my dog. It was 3 short whistles, and she knew it was me. It didn't always work, but it was better than calling her over and over. Some people use a clicker, just a different noise to get her attention rather than your voice. Dottie is so used to you talking all the time while you're making videos and working, she doesn't pay any attention to it. Once you have her attention and give her a vocal command. I love your videos and fur babies. I have 1 cat, 1 dog. I'm sure I could train Dottie. I had a search and rescue, air sending search and rescue dog. I went through tons of obedience training and then specialty training, and I just don't want to. Don't want to. No desire. She can do it. She can be Dottie. That's fine. My responsibility is all times she is on a leash outside of here. She is on a leash all the time. Unless she's in a fenced-in area, dog park, something like that. J.C. Gibble. Hey, Rob, thanks for another great episode. Do you see any SUV tents down there? I wonder how they hold up in the wind. That was 5 critical things they do not tell you. And here's going to be another thing that they don't tell you, and I'm not going to tell you, because I see tents, but I've never really, I can't remember seeing, I know what he's talking about, these tents that attach to either the top or the side or the back of an SUV. I just don't recall seeing them. And I think any tent would be tough in the wind, and you would need, like, I use big giant rebar stakes that are, this long with a ring on the top, and drive them almost a foot into the ground to tie down my the solar panels that I have on the ground all season. So, regular little tent stakes, no bueno out there with the wind. Okay, so, and the other thing I think you'd have to consider, if you have some kind of a tent and you drive it down so the stakes can't get pulled up, will it start ripping the fabric? I don't know. I'm not, anybody out there that can help JC, you find the quartzsite 5 critical things they did not tell you. You can just type in 5 critical things they did not tell you, Travels with Dottie, or look on my list, scroll my video list. I think it's about a month old. And find his comment. It's, hey, Rob, thanks for another great episode. Do you see any SUV tents? If you know about SUV tents and ins and outs of making that work in quartzsite, go ahead and give him a little info there. So Robert Pellett said, I'm convinced that your Dottie graduated from the same school of human management that my 2 doggies went to. I'm certain they get high scores in the class. I can go anywhere I want and take my human with me course. It's really funny how each of us thinks we're in control. Your path and dog park at your RV pack is very nice. I'm sure it makes for a good relaxing time together. You should see how my doggies would respond to the word snacky. At least for about 10 minutes, I'm back in control. That's so true. And Robert Ballard says, it's great to see you get out on your e-bike for exploring and relaxation. Thanks for your insights in the past history there in Pahrump. I was curious about where that road outside the gate ends up. It looks like a bit of a rough road for any e-bike. Yeah, you can drive that road to the top of Mount Charleston and over the mountain and into Las Vegas if you dare with your four-wheel drive. I've been about as far up. I did a video on it, Wheeler Pass. I think I ended up driving an eighth of a mile short of Wheeler Pass because the rest of the way looked really steep, and I don't have a four-wheel drive, but it's just that road going straight up the mountain to Mount Charleston. And I noticed last night Mount Charleston now has snow on it for the first time this season, and I meant to take a picture of it, but I'll take a picture of it today. Nice big picture of that. What else? I think that's it, but let me reload. Yeah, it's there. And today, what do we have today? What are we going to do today for videos? Well, we have one positive news video with the title Try Not to Cry. And it's about a Halloween and some children that did a remarkable thing. And I think I've got 1, 2, 3. I have 3 long form videos in the bank, ready to go. All right, I'm going to release Solid Pro Internet for nomads. And this is about the internet, the pretty expensive and elaborate internet setup I have because I need to do Zoom calls with clients that can't be interrupted or buffered. So I describe in this video how to do that. I'm thinking it's probably not going to be that popular a video, but it'll be, I think maybe for a couple of years anyway, it'll be a kind of what they call an evergreen video where I'll get little dribbles of views over a couple of years until my solution becomes obsolete. And that's what happens with technology. But right now the solution is I have Starlink in an AT&T cellular business and some special software that binds those two connections together and duplicates them. So if one has a hiccup, the other one is already there. So I can have pretend you're watching me live. There wouldn't be any things like that where you freeze or glitch and then go, because it's got duplicate packets and it just keeps everything smooth. And if you're a counselor and you're doing this, you're doing a counseling session, and some of the counseling sessions can get pretty intense. I mean, people are talking about some very deeply meaningful things, and to have you, or they're listening to you and then continue, that's very distracting. Or if I'm trying to listen to the client and they freeze up, and that's unfortunate. And yeah, for those of tech people, there's not much I can do about their end. If they have a problem connection on their end, I'm a little helpless, but at least I can make my end rock solid. In this video that I'm releasing is how we do that. Anyway, thanks so much for joining Dottie and George and I today, and we're grateful for you watching us and watching those silly advertisements. YouTube, don't listen to me. I don't think they're silly. I think they're wonderful. I'll see you tomorrow.